God will do everything perfectly in His perfect time. Well, this is something that we've heard over and over again. It is taken from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, but that is not what I'm going to speak about today. Praise God, everyone. I'm so thankful to God for another new week. I'll quickly share with you what God has placed in my heart for the week ahead. Many times we tend to ask God, why are you delaying this in my life? Why is this getting delayed? And what is the reason? And all sorts of questions that we pose to God. But we tend to forget that it is our stubbornness, our arrogance, lack of faith, lack of obedience, and lack of surrender that leads to the delay. This is what happened to the people of Israelites when they traveled from Egypt to the promised land. We read about this in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 1, where it's written that it would have taken only 11 days for them to travel. But God had to take them through a journey of 40 years in the desert. Why? He could have just taken them in 11 days, right? Why did He have to take them through 40 years of testing and trial? Why did He do that? They might have thought that it is getting delayed, and they did grumble. They did complain to Moses again and again, time and again. They kept saying that, is this why you brought us here? Is this why we are suffering? So they kept asking God, why? Little did they realize that all of that delay happened because of the hardness of their heart, because of the lack of faith that they had in their heart, that God is faithful to take them to the promised land. And God knew how, their hearts were. They did not completely believe in God nor His promises, but they just got out of the slavery and they wanted to get to a better place. And during the journey, they kept doubting God in so many instances. And God wanted to refine that. He wanted to tune them properly. So, today you and I might be wondering why we have to go through a time of trial, or why is this getting delayed? But we need to sit back and realize that He is a perfect God who does everything perfectly well. He does not delay at all. He is a God who never hurries nor delays. He does everything in its perfect time, just as we see in Ecclesiastes chapter 3. But if we feel that something is getting delayed in our lives, let's ponder upon our heart, upon who we are, our faith, our obedience. Have we surrendered everything to God? Have we given everything to Him and said, God, you be the God of this situation. You be the God of my life. Have we done that? Let's examine ourselves as we sit back and think about the delays. And then we would know that God is actually trying to tune us. He's trying to refine us through this time of waiting, through this time of testing. But it is not because He wants to delay it in our lives. He never delays anything. His timing is just too perfect. My brother and sister, I just want to encourage you, saying that probably there's an area in your life that you still haven't surrendered to God and His will. Probably you're just holding on to something so stubborn and you're not letting God have His way in that area. Let's take time to examine that and surrender to God and say, God, I'm sorry that I was holding on to it. I'm sorry that I was very stubborn over it. But today, I want to give it back to you. I want to surrender my all to you, not just some areas, but every area to you. And you take lordship over everything. And when we do that and we sit back and enjoy His presence, God will do everything well for us in His perfect time. Let our faith increase and let us not doubt about His ways. If He is taking us through a journey, it is to refine us. So let's be more obedient. Let's surrender completely and let God do His will in our lives. He says in Ephesians chapter 3 verse 20 that He is able to do immeasurably more than we can ask or imagine. Such is the doing of God. But for Him to do such a beautiful thing in His time, you need to surrender. You need to give it all to Him and not be stubborn about anything or arrogant about His will. Let God have His will in your life, my friend. And may you learn to surrender everything to Him, even as you're watching this video. And if this is a blessing, please pass it on to someone and encourage them as well. And until I see you in the next video, you take care, my friend. God bless you. Bye.